This is a special report from the All Sides News Network. President-elect Donald Trump has not even taken the oath of office yet, and he has already saved 1,000 jobs from moving south of the border to Mexico. Nelson Schwartz of the New York Times reports, on Thursday, Mr. Trump and Mike Pence, Indiana's governor and the vice president-elect, plan to appear at Carrier's Indianapolis factory to announce a deal with the company to keep roughly 1,000 jobs in the state, according to officials in the transition team as well as Carrier. Several Carrier employees are elated with this news, stating that they cannot wait for Mr. Trump and Mr. Pence to come to their factory and save their jobs, mainly so that they can now put their children through school without having to find another job. A spokeswoman for Mr. Trump has stated that in exchange for keeping the factory running in Indianapolis, Mr. Trump and Mr. Pence are expected to reiterate their campaign pledges to be friendlier to businesses by easing regulations and overhauling the corporate tax code. According to local officials, the state of Indiana also plans to give economic incentives to Carrier as part of the deal to keep the jobs in the United States. Trump's promise to keep jobs in the United States after decades of losses to overseas factories and automation resonated throughout the Rust Belt. That promise, plus Mr. Trump's opposition to pacts like the North American Free Trade Agreement, were the key reasons as to how he was able to beat Hillary Clinton in states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Criticizing Mr. Trump was Jared Bernstein, a liberal economist who served as an advisor in the Obama administration from 2009 to 2011. Mr. Bernstein noted, political symbolism aside, saving 1,000 Carrier jobs doesn't loom so large in the economy that's created an average of 181,000 jobs a month this year. However, Mr. Bernstein expressed grudging admiration for Mr. Trump and his, quote, political jujitsu. He stated, "If I weren't so scared of the damage a Trump administration might do, I'd find it refreshing to see an administration fighting for factory jobs like this. That said, no one should confuse what Trump is doing here with sustainable economic policy." A representative from Carrier stated that it will forfeit approximately $65 million a year in savings that the move was supposed to generate. However, that's a small price to pay to avoid the public relations damage from moving jobs, as well as the possible threat to losing military contracting business. Roughly 10% of the company's $56 billion in revenue comes from the federal government. The Pentagon is its single largest customer. With $4 billion a year profit last year, the company has the flexibility to find savings elsewhere. Mohan Tatikanda, a professor at the Kelley School of Business at Indiana University, stated, "This is a spot solution. If it goes through, it helps some Carrier employees for a period of time, but it doesn't address the loss of manufacturing jobs to technological change, which will continue." While the critics may be right, that 1,000 jobs may not be that much to the entire country, it is a start. And everyone should at least give Mr. Trump credit for trying to fulfill his campaign promises even before he takes the oath of office. And yes, while 1,000 jobs may not be that much to the entire country, it means the world to those 1,000 families, each of which owes a debt of gratitude to Mr. Trump and Mr. Pence for their hard work and effort. What do you think? Is this a start to Trump's plan to keep jobs in the United States and bring more back from overseas? Or are the criticizers right? It's just not that big of a deal. Please comment below. This has been a special news report from the All Sides News Network.